Welcome back in one of the Bears Robert Plays YouTube channel. Today is Sunday, November 24th, and I'm back breaking down some Sunday afternoon matchups. We are going to be looking at 5 total game picks today, 3 total player props, 8 plays for the entire slate. Before we get into that action, let's take a look at the Thursday night football game. First snow game of the season was very fun to watch. Excuse my face and eyes. It is 5:50 in the morning. The Wi-Fi wasn't working last night. I wanted to make sure I can get on here and you guys can see my beautiful face. So it is working this morning. The snow game was awesome between the Steelers and the Browns. We did have a 2-1 day. Browns plus 3.5. They did win that game outright. Jameis Winston over 217.5 passing yards. Had his legacy drive to beat the Steelers. Awesome rushing touchdown communication system hanging off of his head. Didn't matter. That man was blind with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You think a little thing swinging in front of his eyes is going to matter? No. And as Jameis Winston would say, the horses were prepared. The Lord delivered the victory. The loser was Najee Harris over his rushing. The conditions were good for him to go over the rushing yards. The Browns they stood tall on the defensive side. So what are you going to do? 2-1 day? Let's try to keep on keeping on. We're doing pretty well in the NFL. And we're going to go into Sunday with a lot of confidence. For the first play of the day, we've got the Cowboys going up against the Commanders. I'm going to take the Commanders, minus 10.5. I wish nothing but horrible things for the rest of the season for the Dallas Cowboys. We might be the worst team in the NFL, and I am really hoping that we get Travis Hunter, because if we continue to play like this, we're going to have the number 1 pick. My favorite thing every week now is just updating Tankathon. Currently, we have the 9th overall pick. There are a lot of really bad teams this season, so we've got a lot of competition, but Mike McCarthy, he's lost the locker room. The defense has been horrible. Micah Parsons, absolute fool of himself right now. He wants to be more of a podcast guy. He wants to be more of a guy who doesn't really care about football and wants to talk to the media, which that's fine with me. If he wants to do that, that's great. He's pretty good at the podcast thing, but he plays football for a living. So I would really like him to focus more on football, but if he wants to do the podcast, more power to him. We will ship him off to do the podcast. He can get off the team. That's fine by me. We don't have a quarterback. We don't have a defense. They refuse to put in Trey Lance because apparently he's that much worse than Cooper Rush. I'm not entirely sure how that's even possible, but it is. And by the way, we wasted a 4th-round pick on Trey Lance, and he's going to sit on the bench for the entire season. We can't do anything right now. This is the Dan Quinn. I'm going to show you how much I made that defense so much better when I'm there game of the year for me. I think the Commanders will be able to hang 50 points on the Dallas Cowboys. I am very, very excited for the Thursday night game. Or Thursday, or we play at 3 probably on Thanksgiving because we play the Giants. We can sign Daniel Jones. I don't want Daniel Jones, but I will take him for 1 game so we can play against the Giants. That would be awesome. If that does not happen, I want to lose out. Other than that, I've got nothing to say about this game. Commanders going to roll. We stink. Jerry, I'm not going to say it again. Mike McCarthy's fat. Commanders by a Billy. Next game. Next play of the day, I should say. Broncos going up against the Raiders. Not the best game of the day. Not the game you want to watch. But the Broncos minus 6 is the play. This team's playing extremely well. They should have beat the Chiefs. A fluke mistake on that game-winning field goal with the offensive lineman getting rocked and the field goal being blocked. That never typically happens. The Broncos could have decided to lay down and die after that, but instead this team fought. They beat up the Atlanta Falcons, putting up 30-plus points. The defense played incredibly well. Bo Nix is that guy. He has been very good over the last several games. The sports books continue to disrespect his passing numbers. I think he's going to go off once again in this game. The Raiders are not a good team. I'm going to take the Broncos, minus 6. Defense, good offense. They win this game pretty easily. Next play of the day, we're going to be looking at the Cardinals going up against the Seattle Seahawks. Big game here for both of these teams. Seattle coming off a win against the 49ers. This game does feel like it's going to come down to a field goal, so if you're looking for a side, I'd probably take the points. But I'm going to go with the over 47.5 as the play. I'm starting to think the Cardinals might just be an overall good team. But these teams, they beat up on the 49ers this season. This should be a pretty good matchup between the two. If you wanted to side, like I said, I'd go with the Seahawks. I'm not going to do that because I think both of these teams will be able to march the ball up and down the field. Kyler Murray's been incredible. Geno Smith had that game-winning touchdown drive last week with his feet. These guys are feeling themselves. They're playing some really good ball. I'm going to take the over, 47.5 as the final graphic play. Let's go to the player props, and we're going to have 2 more game picks later on. But we're going to start with the Colts and the Lions. Lions are dealing with some significant injuries on the defensive side. Their play caller, their linebacker, He usually makes the calls for blanking on his name right now, but that's going to be a little bit of trouble for them. If Jonathan Taylor wants to, he can go for 100-plus yards in this game. The Colts have been giving him the ball a ton, 20-plus carries in 3 consecutive games. He wasn't able to do a lot with it against the Jets because the Jets, for once, the entire season stood up on the defensive side of stopping the run. But the Lions have also been good at stopping the run this season. But I'm just going to take this on the pure amount of carries that we're going to get. Sometimes you just got to bet something on the volume. That's one of these games. He's going to be given a lot of opportunities in this game. At some point, he's going to break off a big run. We just have to pick up the rest with the 2 or 3 yard gains. 2 or 3 yard gains, 15 of those. Give me a couple 10-plus yard runs. This one's going to go over 69.5 yards as the play. For the next one, we're going to be looking at Kyler Murray going up against the Seattle Seahawks. Big game here. And I do think it's going to be a 3-point contest. But I love Kyler Murray. He's been playing so well. He hasn't had to use his feet a ton over the last couple of weeks, but they've been really good at running the ball. With Connor in the backfield, Murray's been really good with his arm over the last couple of games, but this is an important game for both these sides. I do think we're going to see Kyler Murray running a little bit more in this game, and whenever he gets out the pocket, man, you can't catch this guy. He's small for an NFL quarterback, but he's so athletic. He makes one cut and he's gone. This is one of the most athletic players in the NFL. Picked first round in the MLB draft, picked first round in the NFL. Special talent here. He's extremely quick out of the pocket. Give me the over 29.5 rushing yards as the play. And for the final play of the day, looking at the Dolphins going up against the Patriots. Something's been a little bit off with Tyreek Hill with the yardage. I think they're just a little bit timid right now. Tua not holding the ball very long, probably a good thing. I don't want him to get another concussion. He'd probably be out of football. But Tyreek Hill has been getting a lot of targets. He's been going up against the Raiders last week. Didn't have a ton of yards. The yardage has been down this season, but he's getting a lot of targets. He's getting a lot of catches. I'm going to go with the over 5.5 catches as the play. This is going to be plus money. Tyreek Hill most likely will have at least 3 catches in this game behind the line of scrimmage. They love to run that bubble screen for Tyreek Hill. They also like to run the shovel passes to him, put him in motion right in front of Tua. Tua does a little pop pass right to Tyreek Hill. That's going to count as a catch. The Patriots defense has been decent this season, but I think with the Miami Dolphins playing like they are, I think this game can be a blowout. I think the Dolphins are one of the hottest teams right now in the NFL. They are frisky and fun with Tua back in there. So I'm going to take a Tyreek Hill here, over 5.5 catches as the final player prop of the day. Let's go over to the final plays in the recap graphic where we're talking about the 49ers going up against the Packers first. 49ers got George Kittle back, don't have the quarterback. So they just, it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back for the Niners. They're in trouble. I believe they're 5-5, maybe 4-6. I'm not entirely sure. They might be 5-5, but they got McCaffrey back. They got a win, but then they lost. So this team, they need to start winning some games. This is not going to be one of them. The Packers are healthy. Jordan Love's back. He's got all of his wide receivers. Josh Jacobs in the backfield. The defense looks pretty good. They're at home. I'm taking the 5.5 here with the Packers at home. Final play of the day is going to be Sunday Night Football. Had to touch on this game just a smidge because it's a big matchup. Eagles going up against Rams. You see the cowboy hat. You see, I'm a Cowboy fan. Eagles are a top 4 team in the NFL. That's just how it has to be right now. Hate their coach. At some point, he is going to get embarrassed. At some point, the Eagles will lose a playoff game because of him. They are also going to lose potentially this game because of him. Sean McVay is one of the best head coaches in the NFL. I don't care what anybody says. The Eagles have more talent, but the Rams have Matthew Stafford. The Rams have Puka Nacua. The Rams have Cooper Kupp. The Rams have Williams. This is either going to be a very high-scoring game or it's going to be like a 3-3 kind of game. And with the way that Elliott looked last week with the field goals, I can't imagine the Eagles have a lot of confidence in him coming in this one. I'm going to take the Rams, +3. It feels like a lot of points to give Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay, who is going to coach laps around Sirianni in this game. So I'm going to take the Rams at home. This game means more to them as well. They need this game very badly. So give me the Rams, +3 as the play. Again, everybody who's going to say I'm a Dallas fan and I'm just taking against the Eagles, that's wrong. The Eagles are a very good team. The Eagles are a top 4 team in the NFL, probably 4. I just think it's a bad spot. I think the Rams win this game outright, and I'm going to take them +3. Let's go over all the plays. Commanders, -10.5. Love the team total there. Love the 50-burger play. Broncos -6 going up against the Raiders. Over 47.5 points between the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Packers -5.5. Rams +3. Jonathan Taylor over 69.5 rushing yards. Tyreek Hill over 5.5 grabs. It's going to be plus money. And then Kyler Murray over 29.5 rushing yards using his feet going up against the Seattle Seahawks. Guys, that's going to do it for the NFL Plays and Props for Sunday, November 24th slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please be sure to drop a like this video and subscribe down below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.